Hi, I'm Nate Gilbert, attorney in San Antonio, Texas, and I'm going to go over something a little odd today. If you have a Series LLC in Texas and you want to file a certificate of assumed name for one of the series, the form that you need in order to do that is not published on the Secretary of State's website. You actually have to follow a link there on the forms section to actually request the form to be mailed to you or emailed to you from the Secretary of State's office itself. So it's not necessarily something you can just go on there, download it really quickly, fill it out, and submit it. You actually have to request that from the Secretary of State's office. I have a copy of it. I'm going to walk you through how to fill that out, what that looks like for your certificate of assumed name for your Series LLC if you're going to file it. Now, a couple of caveats. This Series LLC assumed name certificate is not required if you follow certain statutory regulations for the naming of the Series LLC series. If you do not, or even if you do follow that statutory regulation for the naming of the series, but you want the series to go by a different name, if you want that series to have an assumed name in addition to that particular one, you would want to file this certificate of assumed name. Now, there's going to be some information on that about registered series. If you have registered series, you're going to go by some different rules, but generally speaking, this is the form that you're going to want to use for an assumed name for Secretary of State's office in Texas. So let's take a look at that form and what that looks like filling it out.
Okay, here we have the assumed name certificate form. This looks very much like the top of the assumed name certificate form that we have that you can download straight from the Secretary of State's office. However, this is different. This is a special form for filing that assumed name for your series. So here we have the assumed name under which the business or professional service is or is to be conducted. All right, so that's where we're going to put this assumed name. We're going to file for one of our series, right? So we've got our Series 1, Protected Series of Attorney Nate LLC, a Texas Series LLC. Now, again, if you have named your series of your Series LLC in this fashion, where you have the name of the quote-unquote parent company, as well as the fact that it is a series of a Texas Series LLC, you don't need to do this. But just in case you are, we're going to walk through this form. So that's where we put our assumed name, the name of our series that we're going to be using, right? That's the assumed name we want to register. In 2A, okay, this is where it starts to get a little bit different from the regular assumed name form. Here we have the legal name of the registrant. The registrant is the name of your LLC, right? So this is the name of your LLC itself. We want to put the quote-unquote parent company there. We want to have that particular name there. Now, 2B, this only applies to registered series, okay? So registered series are very different than protected series. If you have a registered series and your attorney is not helping you with this, or you don't have an attorney, you need to seek out the advice of counsel, okay? You should not be doing a registered series without their help. If you had a registered series, this is where that information would go. If you do not have a registered series, if your attorney never talked to you about registered series, or you've never seen this term registered series before, you can skip item 2B, okay? Go directly to item 2C, because most likely what you're looking at are protected series, okay? This is the most common form of protected series. That's what we want, okay? So assumed name is used by protected series established by the registrant. Remember, registrant is our regular company up here. Now, whose name is item 2A, right? That's in 2A. The name of the protected series as stated in the registrant's company agreement that established the series is, right? So this is the name of the series, right? So that can be the same as this name up here, right? Series 1, a protected series of Attorney Nate LLC, a Texas Series LLC. We put the name of the series that is using the assumed name, okay? Now, the registrant, most likely, you've got a limited liability company, right? For a Texas Series LLC, it's going to be a limited liability company. This is true even if you are taxed as a corporation, taxed as a partnership, whatever, okay? You want to put limited liability company if it is an LLC that is formed with the Texas Secretary of State's office. File number is from your certificate of formation that you got back from the Secretary of State's office when you formed your series LLC. State country, Texas, USA, unless it is a foreign entity that you have filed as a foreign entity doing business in Texas, but most likely it's going to be Texas, USA. Now, registrant's principal office address, right? Registrant, remember, that's our LLC, our parent, quote unquote, LLC. We put our 123 Sesame Street mailing address, our city, state, country, and zip code. Now, period of duration. Assumed names are only valid for 10 years at the max. So you're going to select either 7A, 7B, or 7C. However long you want this assumed name for the series of your series LLC to be in effect. I've checked here that it's just 10 years from the date of filing with Secretary of State, usually the easiest. Now, county or counties in which assumed name is going to be used. This is kind of a little bit of an issue for folks. I think, honestly, if you're using the series just for holding property in one specific county, right? If your house is located in, let's say, Bexar County, just say only the following counties in Bexar, right? That's what we want to make sure that we're doing. If you're going to be using it in business and you want to click all counties, by all means do that. Or if you're going to be operating in all counties except some certain ones, you can use this one. But most likely, if it's a house, like we talked about, single-family residential in a series that you're using for a series LLC, let's just use Bexar County where the house is located. Execution, right? We're going to file it on this date. So we're going to put this date here. Name of registrant, again, that's the name of our parent LLC, right? The series LLC that we've already filed, that's registrant, not you. That's the name of the company. Now here we put the printed or typed name of the person signing. I'm the one signing this, so I'm putting my name there, and we are signing the document as we would, all right? Print and file it. It's easy as that. Now, like I said, this document is not available on the Secretary of State website, okay? You need to actually request this document from the Secretary of State's office. They will not just have it on the Secretary of State's website under the forms section. I don't know the reason for that necessarily, but nonetheless, that's what we've got. But just in case, I wanted to walk you through the filing of that particular document and how you can do that on your own, or if you are doing something on your own, you want to make sure that you've got it correct. Walk through this, check it, and you'll be good to go.